there, sports fans. This is Playitright TV, and I'm Kinito Hanson. I'm covering here for Diane Castilla, who's in this post, but show must go on. And for this episode, we're going to talk about the Gilas Under-16 national team, and they're going to be playing in the SEABA qualifying Under-16 for the FIBA Under-16 Asia Cup. And we've got some graphics to show you exactly what we're talking about. But before any of that, let's introduce our guests. First off, the head coach, Josh Reyes, is with us in this episode. Hi there, Josh.
Hi, Mr. Henson, and I'm happy to be here. I'm honored.
Okay, and we've got three of the players on our national team. This is the Under-16 national team. First off, Kiefer Alas. Now, a very familiar name to a lot of fans who may not know Kiefer Alas, but may know Kiefer and may know Alas. Okay, we know Kiefer Ravena, we know Kevin Alas, and Kiefer Alas is here with us. Hi there, Kiefer, and welcome to the show. Kiefer, you're on mute. We want to hear your voice.
Hi po, Sir Dean. Hi po, Sir Ganito. Thank you for having me po.
Kiefer, I was just talking to your brother kanina, si Kevin. I covered the game between Meralco and NLEX, and before that game, sabi ko, Kiefer's going to be our guest today. And of course, we're very excited to hear from Kiefer about his experience with the national team. Welcome to the show, Playitright TV. Next up, we've got Irus Chua. Heard so much about Irus being the scorching scorer that he is. Irus, welcome to the show. Irus,
Hello
you're
po,
on.
Sir Ganito. Hello po.
All right. Nice to hear your voice. And last but not least, we've got Kurt Velasquez, who's also part of the national under-16 team. All these guys have been playing together. I see a smile on Kiefer's face. Kurt Velasquez, welcome to the show.
Good evening po, Sir Henson.
All right. Good evening to you guys. And Coach Josh, I'm just so excited to talk to you and to talk to these three players because this is the next generation of national players. And I think that showcase is being rolled out for them to display their wares. Coach Josh, tell us about these upcoming championships, the SEABA Under-16 Championships in Surabaya.
Obviously, it's a very important tournament. We have to basically win it. You know, there's no other way around it. We have to get the gold medal and qualify for the Asian Championships later this year.
Okay, we've got a graphic just to be able to put that in perspective. The SEABA Championship. Well, first of all, there it is. The SEABA Under-16 Championships, Surabaya, July 17 to 19. 4 teams will be competing, and the top 2 will advance. And Coach Josh, the top 2 will advance to what tournament?
To the Under-16 Asian Championships. So that includes all of Asia, including New Zealand and Australia.
Now, just talking about the SEABA Under-16 Championships, apat lang ang maglalaro. Single round robin ito, walang playoffs. So that means, kung magkakaroon ng tabla, quotient system.
Yep. So it's a very unpredictable format. It's very similar to a March Madness format in terms of one slip that could be it. So it's basically we are going to be playing 3 important games in 3 days, and that's it. And you don't know what kind of permutations there will be, who will win against who, what score or what not. So to be the safest is to win all 3.
Wow, okay. Now we've got another slide that we're going to show. It's the FIBA Under-16 Asian Championships. That will be held in Doha, September 17 to 24, 16 nations, and the top 4 will advance. So you're saying, Coach Josh, that the top 2 in the SEABA Championships will move on to the FIBA Under-16 Asian Championships.
Yes. We've always qualified for this tournament, so it's on us to get the job done and play in Doha come September for the ultimate dream of qualifying for the World Cup again.
Okay, so that's the FIBA Under-16 Asian Championships, and the top 4 of that competition among 16 nations will move on to the FIBA Under-17 World Cup, and that will be in Turkey, June 27, or rather June 29 to July 7 of 2024. So para nakikita natin, this is a ladder system. From SEABA, you go FIBA Asia Under-16 Asian Championships. and then FIBA Under 17 World Cup. And that kind of ladder is something, Coach Josh, you've been used to in the past.
Yes. However, the past two tournaments that Batang Gilas played, we were already seeded. There wasn't a SEABA tournament at all, qualifiers at all. So we
Okay.
were automatically seeded to play in the Asian Championships. So this is after the pandemic. This is the first time the SEABA tournament is going to happen again, and I'm happy. I'm happy that SEABA in the youth level is back. I don't know if the people know that when the year started, this wasn't even the calendar. So we started the program thinking that we'll be seeded again, and just a little over 3 weeks ago, that's where we got the memo from SIABA that there will be a tournament. So when we got that, then we had to really expedite things and make sure that we're ready for these important qualifiers. And also, that's the reason why there are only 4 teams, because only these 4 teams were able to submit pools or names in time because of the short notice.
Yeah, so Coach Josh, sa makatuwid, kailan lang ito? You
Mhm.
were just told about the SEABA Championship just a month ago, but luckily, you've been actually preparing for the FIBA Asia Under 16 Championships. Am I right?
Yes, so we really pushed, learning from the past tournaments, the last 2 tournaments. We really pushed to start early because we don't want to lag behind against our competition. Because I'm good friends with a handful of coaches in the youth scene in Asia, and just talking to Alejandro, the head coach of Japan, he just told me that, hey, they already finished their first training camp, and this was a month ago. So we don't want to lag behind like before. Before, not the fault of anybody, just because of the pandemic and the situation in the country, how minors were not, were very late to be allowed to gather and join athletic activities. The even the formation of the teams, both teams you know, were not ideal in terms of having the preparation comparable to the other squads. So learning that, having that experience, we wanted to make sure that we start very early this year, and thankful for the go signal of SBP and everybody involved. We were able to start early. So even though we weren't really practicing every day, we are ready. We're not starting from scratch, and we already had a working pool when the SEABA championships or SEABA qualifiers were announced. So we're confident that we'll come into this qualifying tournament as ready as we can be.
Okay, just before we show the graphics revealing the 14 names in your roster, we've got another graphics here to tell us how the Philippines performed in the last, yeah, that's right, FIBA Under 16 Asian Championships.
Mhm.
And that particular competition, the Philippines took 7th out of 13, advanced to the quarterfinals. We beat Kuwait, Kazakhstan, Iran, but lost to Japan, Australia, and Korea. So tell us about that particular competition, Josh. You were the head coach, and I thought it was already a big watermark that we advanced to the quarterfinals.
Yeah. The thing about this squad is, we had given the time, given the time constraints, we had a great um, recruitment, because this was all through the efforts of being involved in the youth program in the past, and establishing that, the network of coaches, and that streamline of recognition or recognizing talent abroad, and with the help of a lot of organizations in the States and around the world. 2022, we felt the fruits of all that labor, and we had a number of
Mhm.
Filipinos living abroad come in. So in a matter of 3 weeks, a lot of guys were able to come in, and we were able to form a squad. However, because it was just only a timeline of 3 weeks. Imagine this: the second game ever of this squad was the do or die game against Japan.
Grabe.
The second game ever together.
Mhm.
And
Mhm.
remember, our players here coming from the pandemic, walang experience ng UAAP or NCAA or any big games, big actual games. So fresh from 3 years of the pandemic, their real tournament, the real deal tournament is already the FIBA Championships, do or die game against Japan. And I thought that there were a lot of things to be desired, a lot of things to improve in that game, a lot of things to talk about. But we were competitive. We were a couple of big plays here and there, and I thought that we could have pulled that game off against Japan.
I thought that
And
game we lost by 11 points, if I'm not mistaken.
it ended 11, but it was nip and tuck in the fourth quarter. Seven
Yeah, right.
points,
It was
5 points.
close.
We were just
It was
right there.
close.
We gave up a couple of key offensive rebounds, some open threes that we missed and they made. So it was right there. We were very competitive, and I believe that Japan, this Japanese kid Kawashima, I believe he will be an NBA player. In fact, he scored 30 points even up to the World Championships of under 19. He was really
Mhm.
proficient. So having said that, the reason I say that because after that Japan game, our second game together ever, we adjusted a lot and faced Australia the next game.
That's right.
And
Yes.
again, we were very competitive.
Yeah.
If not for, I really believe this in my heart that if not for our starting point guard fouling out early in the third quarter, I believe we could have still managed that lead and held on to the head. But things happened the way they did. I believe despite not qualifying, the team, the under 16 team, from starting fresh off the pandemic, looking like you won't be able to form a team at all, to having a team that
Yeah.
has a lot of expectations. I thought that was something special and a good kickstart to basketball, to youth basketball again, coming from a long hiatus.
Of course, we made it to the quarterfinals and we beat Iran for seventh place. But now, Coach Josh, let's flash that graphic on your choices for our 14-man lineup. Here we go. This is the Gilas under 16 lineup. And three of the players in this roster are with us to talk about their experience. And Coach Josh, just before we turn the microphone over to Kiefer, to Irus, and to Kurt, can you tell us about this team in general? What kind of a balance do you see? Is it a good combination of players who can play different positions? And will this be a chemistry team?
From batch to batch, you really cannot plan of what kind of team you're going to get. That's why you hold tryouts. You get to see a lot of players as much as possible, and then you decide from what you have from who shows up, and then we try to form the best squad. We don't have the tallest team right now. We just have two guys over 6'4", and that's it. But I believe that we have a lot of toughness. We have a lot of athleticism, um, a lot of very good guard play, a lot of shooters, um, a lot of shooters here and there. You've got Irus here, who if we can set up correct, if Kiefer can set up correctly, I know that he'll knock down some shots for us. However, our defense, we tried. So having said that we have a lot of skills, having a lot of shooting in the squad, defensively we have to be able to compete as well. And that's where a lot of the tough decisions came in on the defensive end. Who can provide the defensive toughness, rebounding, the defensive awareness and understanding that we need. And I believe that, some of these guys are really gearing towards or going towards the right direction in terms of getting to where we want to be in terms of offensive system and defensive system.
Okay, let's talk to Kiefer Alas. Kiefer, there was a poll of 23, tapos naging 18, tapos ngayon naging 14. So during that time, nung namimili si Coach Josh rather, and the coaching staff, did you feel very anxious na baka hindi ka mapasok o kaya kung mapasok ka na, anong mangyayari sa team? Anong pakiramdam mo? Because you also had a training session in the Inspire. Sports Academy sa Calamba. Kumusta yung experience doon, Kiefer?
Actually, the Inspire Cup was super fun. So not just we didn't just practice, but we gained new relationships. We became closer with our teammates. There were some accidents that happened, but we improved as a team.
Anong accidents?
One of the one of the mirrors broke po.
Oh, okay. Oh, mirror. Okay. Naku, bad luck yun kung mabasag ang salamin. But Kiefer, yung process of selecting the 14 players from 23 tapos naging 18 tapos naging 14, no? How did you feel? Because of course, ng 23 players, lahat kayo nagsasamahan na, you knew each other. But when you see some of your teammates getting cut and then finally landing to the final 14, how did you feel about that?
I felt both sad and excited at the same time. I got
Okay.
sad because I met new friends and I won't be able to see them for a while. Pero I got excited because having cuts meant that we're getting closer and closer to the final lineup. So that made me more excited to play for FIBA.
Okay, let's talk to Irus. Irus, you have a reputation to be a lights out shooter. Okay, let's put it very bluntly. How did you develop this shooting ability? And you know, you're coming from Brent. You've had some exposure in international basketball, but this time you're going to the SEABA level, and then from there you guys are going to the FIBA under 16 Asia level. How do you feel you're going to be competitive in this kind of situation, Iris?
I feel very excited to have the opportunity to play for this team because it has been my dream since I was very young, and I'm just grateful to be a part of this squad and work with the coaches and the players as well.
Well, my question to you was, how did you develop that shooting touch? Because I know you've got that reputation to be a lights out shooter. Who was your model in terms of your idols in basketball who are good shooters and whom you want to be like, Iris?
My idol was actually LeBron James, but then like I used to copy like Jimmy Alapag here in the uh, Gilas as well and the PBA, and I just kept working hard when I was very young, and I just like I just like to shoot.
Okay, Iris, I have to ask you this question. Who's the best shooter among the three of you? Kiefer Alas, Irus Chua, or Kurt Velasquez? Come on, you have to say. Iris.
Me po.
All right, okay. Oh, Kurt, ano masasabi mo? Sinabi ni Irus that among the three of you, he's the best shooter. What can you say about that? Kurt Velasquez, by the way, is from UST. Kurt, kumusta na?
I'm okay, sir. Of course, we can clearly see in the practices and in the games who, of course, got the most 3 points, got the higher percentage in 3 points, and of course, the man himself, Iris Chua.
Wow, okay. Okay, Iris, you've got Kurt's vote. Kurt, your experience playing in UST and now bringing your level of basketball to the national team, how excited are you? And do you feel that you're ready to compete in this international stage? Kurt.
For me, it's like a privilege to myself, and of course, representing the Batangilas team and of course the country. On my back, I'm representing the team for my school, UST, and my province also. I'm very much grateful, and it's an honor to play for the team.
I want to ask Kiefer. Kiefer, one of the things that Coach Josh introduced you to was a little bit of an exposure to Filipino culture and also reintroducing you to our national hero, Jose Rizal, in Calamba. What was that experience like? Because Coach Josh told me that you guys went over to the ancestral home of Jose Rizal. How did that experience go, Kiefer?
It was actually I wouldn't say fun, but it was a good learning. We learned a lot there because there were many things that we could use from there, like from his books that we can apply to our team.
there's this one quote that I can't get out of my mind. It said, Di tayo pwede magkanya-kanya." So I told that to my teammates then, if we want to reach our goals, na mag World Cup, mag gold medal, we have to work as a team.
Giver, I'll ask you this question. Did you ever watch your father play basketball on video?
No po.
No? Okay. But I'm sure you've played some basketball with your dad, Louis. Am I right?
No din po.
You've never played basketball with him?
Only with my kuyas po.
Okay, only with your kuyas. Okay, I want to ask you this question. Between you and Kevin Alas, who's a better three-point shooter?
Me po.
Okay, who's a better free throw shooter?
Me po.
Okay, alam ba ni Kevin yan?
Not last night.
What happened
Not last
night?
game. Not last game.
Okay,
Sampu
you guys
yata yung mismo free throw eh.
You guys had a practice game against FEU. Coach Josh, tell us about it.
It's always great, playing the champion. So we played Letran, the NCAA Juniors champion, and now FEU, the UAAP champs. So we just wanted to get that opportunity to get beaten up by them a little bit, get toughened up, and then learn from them as well. The thing is, playing these games, when we struggle, that's where we're able to come together and we find out what we need to adjust and what we need to improve on. And it's being our final game. It was one of our best showings. It was a very very poor start. The tune-up game actually started. I think the score was 20-3 FEU's favor, and then the game ended. Yes, it was poor start. Unahan na naman kami because the landscape now of NCAA and UAP before, diba? Before, usually the age of the juniors level was their age, the ages of Kiefer, Irus, and PIRTRight now. 15, 16 years old are the juniors players. Nowadays, the tournaments now, the age of the juniors players are 18 and some are even 19 years old. So these are really older kids, and you can get if you're not ready, you can really get bullied straight away. And that's what happened in the beginning, and it's what we've been trying to improve on our execution through that physicality. How to find counters through all that, and through these guys grind, and then just how they stuck with it. The game ended as a tie. One
It was a
of our
tie.
guys sunk.
Okay.
In fact, I was making it a point to not call timeouts at the stretch and see how these guys react, to see how these guys will make decisions under duress, and we made the right plays, got consecutive stops, and knocked down two crucial free throws to tie the ball game, and I thought that was through the game. The course of the whole game was a great turning point in terms of our preparation.
Coach Josh, what about Kiefer's free throw shooting that you
Kung
mentioned?
na-shoot niya, panalo kami. Kung na-shoot niya lahat ng free throw niya.
Naman. Okay, Kiefer, you're supposed to be a better free throw shooter than your brother. Your brother played very well, by the way, this tonight, although natalo sila ng Meralco. But what makes you think you're a better three-point shooter and free throw shooter than Kevin?
My free throws in the UAAP last season, they weren't as good. But I think I've improved it a lot. But I think I'm a better three-point shooter because I compared our percentages from the last season to his conference in the PBA. The ratio, I feel like I had a better shooting from 3 points.
Wow, okay. Okay, Irus, we know that you're a shooter. That's your reputation. What are the things you want to improve on in your game for you to become even more competitive on the international level? Irus.
I think the things that I want to improve more are my ball handling skills and also my communication. But as I grow older and develop, I think I'm able to improve those like those
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 things in your
things.
game. Okay. You guys run pick and roll, and are you usually using the pick and then you expect the big guy to roll, and then you pass the ball, you take the shot? How do you do it, Iris?
There's like a lot of plays that finds a lot of options, and we usually first look for the shot. But if there's no shot, we try to uh, continue the play and find the open man.
Okay. Are you usually the man in the corners waiting for that pass,
Yes, bro.
and then you come from the corner, you do a lift, you get the pass from the guy at the top? Is that something that you guys do?
Yes.
Okay. That means it looks like you're being set up to be a shooter. Kurt, itong samahan nyo with Irus and Kiefer, how comfortable are you playing with these guys coming from different schools?
For
Kurt.
me, sir, along the months since I first met them last April when the training camp started, and of course, when I first met them, I was like, so these are gonna be my competitors, and I'm gonna fight for my spot, and they're gonna fight for their spot too. And along the way, we've made some bonds, connections, and as we are here right now in the lineup and representing our country, right now we're almost just like brothers, like, and the strong connection is there as always.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a band of brothers. Well, guys, maraming salamat for coming on Playitright TV, and Coach Josh. Maybe just a parting shot from you. We're all expecting big things from this team. It's going to be a ladder system. You're going to go SEABA and then FIBA Asia under 16, and then hopefully you make it to the top four, so you get to represent the Philippines in the FIBA under 17 World Cup in Turkey next year. Coach Josh.
Yes, there are big aspirations. Anything worth doing won't be easy. There'll be a lot of pressure, but I just hope my hope is for everybody involved in the program, the kids most especially, to embrace this privilege of having this kind of pressure and know the importance and how special this time is, because a lot of you know not everybody can wear the Philippine colors. A lot of players, go through their whole careers not having the chance to even wear the Pilipinas jersey, and these guys are doing it as early as now. So I hope that the importance of it just don't pass them by. I hope they're able to cherish and work hard to be able to reach our lofty goals.
Well, I think with your guidance, your inspiration, and your leadership, and also your experience, I think these guys are going to be in very, very good hands when they play in SEABA and the FIBA Asia, and hopefully in the World Cup. And just some final words, Kiefer. Maybe you want to say something to the basketball fans out there to follow your journey here in as a member of the Philippines Gilas under 16 champion team. Kiefer.
I invite all of you guys to watch the FIBA U16 Batangilas. I promise that we will never let you down. Even though we have ups and downs, we're gonna fight with our hearts and fight till the end. And we're gonna bring you our goal of making the FIBA World Cup.
All right, boy, that's lofty aspirations and big objectives, but spoken like a true green-blooded player from LaSalle Zobel. All right, Kiefer Alas, and Irus Chua from Brent. Just a few words from you. A lot of people are going to be looking for your shot during the championships, and we're excited to see you play. Irus.
Um, Thank you also to all the fans, and also to all the coaches that have helped me in to my journey. And we'll make sure to work as hard as we can, and we'll do this as a team.
All right, I'm excited just to hear you guys talk about this upcoming competitions. And Kurt, your final message.
Thank you to all the fans and support for our team, and we promise we will do our best to bring home the gold medal and to represent the country at its best for the FIBA Under 16.
Well, best of luck to all you guys and Godspeed. You guys are leaving on Friday. You're going to Surabaya. Wear the national colors proudly on your chest. And we wish you the best of luck. Bring home the bacon. And we're hoping that you finish top 2 so you get to play in the FIBA Under 16 Asian Championships. And if you finish top 4 there, you go straight to the FIBA Under 17 World Cup. Thanks again for coming to our show, Playitright TV. Thanks, Coach Josh. Thanks, Irus. Thanks, Kiefer. Thanks, Kurt. And best
Thanks.
of luck
Thank you,
to
Mr. Henson.
All right. We'll
Thank
see
you.
you. See you again. And hope we get a chance to talk to you when the competitions are over. Thanks again for joining us on Playitright TV.
Thanks. Bye-bye.
Thanks, guys. At dyan po nagtatapos ang ating episode. Something special because we talk about the next generation of national players and represented by the Philippines Under 16 team that will be playing in the coming SEABA qualifiers for the FIBA Under 16 Asia Cup. Okay, this is Kinito Henson again. Thank you very much for staying with us and listening to this episode and watching us too. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe. Playitright TV will always be here for you. Thanks very much and see you again.